Alright. So, Warlords of Draenor. Actually, just gonna check if the stream is running. Okay, gonna do this.
The dark times will pass.
I have 2 garrison campaigns that I'm gonna do: the Fall of Shattrath and Alkindon.
Valadash Malanore.
This was added, I believe, in 6.2. Okay.
Farewell. Salama
Okay, she gives
Ashalanore.
you another quest. The Sargeri Menace.
Remember the sun well.
Ranite that joined the Legion willingly. Gotta love that. Smart move, really. Very smart move. Four already. Crazy. Okay, oh wait, that's another thing entirely. Yeah. We're going full protection on this. I might want to do some seal swapping. I'm using empowered seals because I don't have the haste cap, and if you don't have the haste cap, then well, you're better off going with that to increase your haste. I have quite a few quests there. Okay, let me just summon the mount. Big question is, how do I get to wherever I need to get to? Well, that makes sense. So, hold on. Enter the breached ossuary. What does she say? I really don't want to go in the water, but I don't see where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I mean, it says there, but like it's a hole in the ground. I just... this! My bad. Okay. Yeah, going with the mount is probably not the best idea. You know, Blizzard released some, is implementing something new, trials for classes, so that you can check them out before you use a character boost, right? Nothing wrong with that, except what's involved in them. The section is just so bloody pathetic. That's a section which is supposed to, like, that's one of the first things new players will get in the game, because they'll get the character boost. Obviously, a lot of people will not go for the old content, they'll want access to the high-end stuff, right? So they'll use their character boost, and their first impression of WoW will be the trials, which are atrociously bad. Now, to be fair, WoW is pretty obnoxious as a game in many ways, in terms of the way it's set up and all that, the abilities you have to use, the things you have to consider when playing. It used to be a lot more simpler. You didn't have to use combo point. Like, for instance, take the Protection Paladin. In its glory days of, say, Wrath the Lich King, you didn't have to deal with things like combo points or seals. Seal switching, seal swapping. Now you do. Simpler times. Keep it simple. Alright. So, by the way, the character I'm using right now, LFR gear, some Blackrock Foundry gear from normal, and some heroic high model gear. Blizzard's decisions when it comes to World of Warcraft have created the real divide in the player base. I mean, just look at what it is like to try and actually enter a raiding guild.
They are here, Terrangor. We must leave.
No! So many souls, such power.
So entering any real guild and doing some real raiding, quote-unquote, is a very difficult process nowadays, just because of the requirements involved. And when I say real raiding guild, I don't mean, you know, some of the best guilds. I mean run-of-the-mill guild that can actually complete things on Mythic at a reasonable enough rate. To what it's I know, I'm dying. Okay, I gotta deal with that. Funny thing about that is, like, if you enter it, you get this debuff which increases your damage by 5% per stack. But if you get 10 stacks, you die, and you do get more damage the more you do take more damage per stack, and you take damage when you get to the pool. Alright.
Cease your desecration of my ancestors!
Sindorai.
I will return once Gul'dan has annihilated you.
Almost dead, but not quite. Oop. Yeah, that would have killed.
Yes.
Right?
Hold
I
your
don't
head
actually
high.
need boots. Anyway, that's just one portion of all of it. Pretty pathetic. Let's go for Shattrath. I will take quite a bit more damage. Oh, damn it, I lost the debuff. Well, that's a bloody shame, isn't it? Of all the places you could have teleported me to, the one place I didn't want to be teleported to. I actually have my Hearthstone set here because you do have a portal to Ashran, which is the Horde capital here. You do have a portal to Warspear in Tanan Jungle, and I obviously have the Garrison Hearthstone as well. It's gotta be said that World of Warcraft is... Well, let me just put it like this. Outside of raiding, outside of doing group content, World of Warcraft is pretty boring. Like really, really boring and subpar to a lot of, let's say, single player RPGs, because that's basically what it is. It's a weak single player RPG outside of group content, obviously. The problem with group content is that the pug stuff, the things you find with the group finder, it's pretty bad, all things considered. It's not really that interesting to do it. You barely have any interaction with people, and certainly you have to go out of your way, and you don't have dynamic interactions as you would in the past. Like, play vanilla. Just play vanilla in a private server. You will have more social interaction in a single 5-man dungeon run than you would in dozens upon dozens of LFR runs. And that says something about the nature of World of Warcraft right now. And if you actually want to get social with people, if you do want to get the real social experience, then you have to end in a guild. The thing is, however, that unless you get into a good guild, you're better off looking at the guides, learning how to play on your own, going through the proving grounds, and then doing pug raids on normal and heroic. And yes, you can do that. You can clear content like that on everything but mythic. I did that myself. In Mists of Pandaria, when it came to Siege of Orgrimmar, I killed every single boss on what was then normal, now heroic. You can do that, and that's a big weakness. The fact that you can clear, and you're better off doing that with pugs than actually getting in a cesspool guild. And the reason behind that is that a lot of the people that do pug raids are people from good guilds that are playing on their alts. And so why would you play with terrible players when you can have when you can do things better, actually get progress in raids? That's where I stand on the subject. All right. So,
the
Lady
eternal
Liadrin,
sun guides us.
the fall of Shattrath.
Time is of the essence.
You want me to collect 100 insignias? Nice. Kill 100. Basically, I don't think it's gonna be 100 Sargerai. Killing 100 of them. Might be. Might not be. Like, when it comes to the gameplay of WoW, it's you know, open world stuff. It's never been great. It certainly isn't now. Right now it's a very anti-social experience. What made it good back in the day was the fact that it was built in such a way that people were heavily encouraged to group up together to do content together. That's just how things were. Not so much anymore. Oh, ain't that convenient. Alright. It's gonna take a while to gather all these insignias. Not a huge amount though. Not really that, you know, just not bothering with the bonus objectives. Okay, if I want those insignias, I have to go here, collect NPCs, and just kill all of them. They can't kill me. They have a chance of killing. Obviously that won't work. That's the group area. Come on. I was hoping to interrupt her. Didn't get close enough. Alright, 50 gathered already. Oh, I can get some here. Good. I just want a good pile of them. Let me just get closer. And then I'll pick. Using Divine Shield to get them all in position. It works because it prevents their spell, because it stops them from using spells against me. I will take a lot of damage. At this hour, I'm probably not gonna get an LFR raid. Do wonder if I could find a group. Let's see, pre-made groups raids. Not for Hellfire. I'm not well geared enough for that, but rather for Blackrock Foundry. Do need those elemental tomes. Well, apparently not. Still need a couple more insignias. Well, we'll get them. Alright, that should heal. You know, give me an MMO which has, you know, even the questing experience of, well, better gameplay obviously, but the questing experience of, say, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that would work. You know, Witcher, people give Witcher 3 a huge amount of praise, and for some good reasons there, but the open world, so to speak, of Star Wars: The Old Republic, that's where that idea came from, you know, basically having these very repetitive tasks in the world, but making them interesting by introducing, you know, story elements in them. Star Wars: The Old Republic did that long before The Witcher 3. Of course, Star Wars: The Old Republic sucked on a great deal of levels. Combat-wise, combat is not really interesting in that game. Maybe I should finish my playthrough though of it. Well, I did finish the Imperial Agent, but there's all the DLC, so to speak, or expansions, quote unquote. EA likes to use the word expansion.
A new
Though in that case,
Belore
they are
Delenar.
proper expansion. Anyway, kill
Stay the
Shattrath,
course.
the Great Lord. I do have the Guardian Orb. You get this ability in every area of... you get the unique ability in every area of Warlords of Draenor. Pretty much. In Tanan, you can pick what ability you want. Alright. Gonna have to... Where is he anyway? That's not part of the quest. It's just a rare mob to deal with. This guy... Oh, please, you're not gonna get that spell off. As I said, you're not gonna get the goddamn spell off. Oh, he will, actually, because spell interrupt. Let's work on that. Right, let's challenge the leader of Gul'dan's forces or the Burning Legion forces here in Shattrath. Voice is fully enabled. No voice dialogue though. Now die. Well. I probably should move out of the way when he does that. It's a cone effect. so it is done. Well, ain't that interesting? That is a rare mob, though. Never seen that one before. And I've been in Shattrath quite a few times.
Ora teramos.
Glory to the Sindori. Hold your head high.
Well, that's the fall of Shattrath. There's still other stuff to do, Tanan and all that nonsense. Apexis crystals. Yeah. Well, slag works. Do need it. It's pretty mindless though. Elemental tablet. Like 900 of where's the... I need 900 of these babies. It's gonna take several weeks to get all of them. Alright, we need to go to the slag works, which means we need to go to... Why did someone pull the guys on the left? Because people are bloody idiots. Of all the mobs to pull, I love the hunters using their pets to soak the hit. Because yes, this mob can kill tanks quite easily in point of fact. quite like the music inside here. It really harkens back to the strategy games, which is exactly what they were going for. Nostalgia is a very powerful factor in this expansion. Though, since the expansion wasn't that great, that they kind of fell flat on their face. They had an opportunity to make WoW great again, and they fell flat on their bloody faces. I'm personally waiting for Blizzard to actually make an official vanilla server. One of the reasons I'm not playing on a private vanilla server is, well, I'm not willing to invest months of my life on a private server and then have to start over. Come on. It's not that difficult. What are people doing exactly? Because this is where we need to go. The paths are closed. These guys get enraged, but that really doesn't matter in LFR. It does matter if you're playing on anything but LFR, in which case you might just end up being smashed to pieces if you don't run away from them when they do get enraged. So anyway, let's well, Gruul. Fuck me, I forgot tactics for Gruul. Well, Adventure Guide will see me through, no problem. Not a big deal. And now I remember, you're supposed to tank him away from a group, but then when he does his special attack, you're supposed to taunt just before he does that, so that the damage of his slice doesn't kill you, because it can. It's tank. Of course, none of that really matters in LFR. Maybe the slice does matter, but beyond that, it's just like you don't have to give a fuck about him destroying your. Hell, it even says so. Oh, sorry. Ah, you gotta love LFR. We're supposed to go after the bloody... Yeah. Blizzard doesn't even trust their players to actually... They're supposed to do it in an order. Except that Gruul is actually the first boss anyone does in the fucking instance on everything but Telefar. Because he is the easiest. It's really a tanking challenge, nothing more. Not saying there are other mechanics you don't have to worry about, but still. As for the boss I'm actually doing, the Ore Gorger, the reason people do Gruul first comes down to the fact that people are terrible at dodging here. No, really, that's the reason. There's a mob right there behind. I'm gonna go pick that one up. Of course, they'll, well, two mobs anyway. Did someone actually die here? Anyway, pull the boss, kill the boss, and see who is the biggest loser. Because mark my words, someone will fail here. If no one dies, I will be a bit surprised. And now people will fail miserably. See, you're supposed to destroy the horse. Where is he? Well, if I don't see him, then I don't... Notice how few people are actually going after doors. Well, not surprising, an LFR. Anyway. It's sorted out regardless. No one died in that. That's a bit surprising. You need the repair in LFR? Have you died so many fucking times? Or did you just get in LFR with, while needing to repair? Anyway. The mighty Gruul. Never really a magnificent boss, even in Burn Crusade. Was more of a DPS check than anything else. That's how powerful your raid DPS was. And even then, he wasn't that great at that job. Though I guess he was better than High King Malgar, where 90% or 95% of the fight was in just pulling the fucking boss. If you can manage a successful pull on High King Malgar, you would... Idiots. Well, I suppose it's... That guy's gonna die. I'm not even gonna bother trying to save his life. If he's stupid enough to tank like that. Well, I got Fred. No, really, there's no point in tanking him away from the group. There's no point in taunt swapping and all, or any of that nonsense. Though you may not want to, you know, stack everyone up. Ah, fuck it, I'll just save his fucking life.
Fall down.
And now for the final boss, right here. Well, I might finish this week with, at the very least, 200, if I get lucky with some garrison missions. I'll very likely finish clearing all of Blackrock Foundry with 100 and something. There's an elevator that leads down. Well, actually, not an elevator, my bad, the path. I'm not pulling that thing until more people get here.
Guards! Intruders are meddling with the blast furnace!
Oh, hello, Blackhand. Nice to see you too. Hide behind the spikes that he leaves behind. Not necessary on this difficulty. No. All right.
Protect the furnace at all costs!
You gotta split them up. Well, you don't have to split them up, it's just you want to split DPS up because you gotta get rid of those two giants.
Get those fellows pumping!
But you don't want to get too close, because then the shield bearers will leave that buff on the ground.
Security!
Security incoming.
The machinery is damaged. Keep these scum from sabotaging the furnace.
Too late for that, I'm afraid. That's half the fight.
Get it under control!
Warlord,
We have it under control.
Do you now? He was supposed to be long dead. You need to kill the spellcasters. Brilliant tank right there, gotta say. Alright, that one will die, then we'll have to... No one's dead yet. Or if they did die, he was revived. Should probably have the icons keybinded.
Is free. Warlord, we have
Freedom. A small victory, but now you will perish in the flame that burns at the heart of Blackrock. Suffer.
And that's the gist of it. Of what you do in WoW in essence these days. It's not really that fun, to be honest. Well, all the people that could give me gold to accept that bloody useless cow are away on missions. You log in, you do some dailies, you set your garrison missions, there's maybe some pug raids, LFR, whatever, log out. Doesn't take a lot of time and it's pretty fucking dull. You wonder why people are not playing WoW? They have nothing to play for. And getting into any real raiding guild, well, what's the fucking point when you can do better with, compared to a lot of cesspool guilds, you can do better with pugs, and it takes a lot of effort outside of the game. It didn't used to be like that, believe it or not. It used to be quite very, very different than that. Drastically different, in point of fact. Used to be that it was more dynamic. Not kidding you. Not making this shit up. Hell, I remember when I got into a raiding guild in Burning Crusade early on. I was just doing 5-mans, and back then you didn't just do 5-mans. You found people, you did groups, and through that I met a guy, and a shaman, good DPSer, and I was in a guild at the time, a Romanian guild, who weren't too fond of me trying to play Protection Paladin, so basically kicked me out because I wanted to raid as a Protection Paladin. And you know, when I was kicked out and I was doing my 5-man, this guy I was doing dungeons with on a regular basis. He invited me in his guild. He was an officer, and that's how I got into raiding. Simple as that. No applications or anything like that. And through that, I ended up clearing Karazhan, leading Karazhan raids, solo tanking the vast majority of Karazhan as a paladin. And through that, well, opened a lot of doors. Guild collapse. A lot of guilds do collapse. It was a summer. A lot of guilds do collapse in summer. And, well, I got into better and better guilds. Hell, I joined one of the best guilds on the server because he joined one of the funny thing with that guy, he ended up joining one of the best guilds on the server, top 10 guilds, and then they disbanded and then they reunited, recreated themselves, and they needed a tank desperately, so he invited me in, and we cleared Tempest Keep, cleared the Serpent Shrine Caverns, entered Black Temple, entered Mount Hyjal. That's how I got my attunement.
For the Horde.
We didn't just breeze through it. We had to work on it. Wiping on Kael'thas, wiping on Vosh. Well, we didn't really wipe that much on Vosh, actually. Vosh used to be a considerably more difficult boss before she was nerfed into the ground. She used to have mind control on players, and she was a very buggy boss. So Blizzard nerfed her into the ground and fixed the bugs, and suddenly she ended up being not that interesting, actually. Of course, it did require a great deal of coordination between the players. In a good guild, you'd get that easily. In a bad guild, or mediocre guild, good luck with that. The point, though, of that story is to say that back in the day, and what's missing right now, the social aspect is gutted compared to what was before. I remember people from that only raided Karazhan entering Black Temple, ending up in Black Temple guilds, killing Illidan. Hell, I was in a guild that recruited some Tier 4 players when we were doing Tier 6 because we just needed the players. That's how it went. No logs or anything like that. Sure, we did end up with a lot of bad players because of that, but there were... But that was easily discovered. I just need to clear the harbor. Be right back.